everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. We're on YouTube and Instagram at Joey143Jenny, and we're on Facebook at Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. Okay, this is like a full transparency video. My desk is an absolute disaster from the weekend events, and so I just thought I would turn on the camera and tidy up and chat about the stuff, and also funny story. Yeah, I'd bring you along. So I hope everybody's doing okay and having a really good day. So, all right, let's get started. So these, I purchased a really fun grab bag at, I probably have a little avalanche here, at a flea market. It was actually the size, the box size was a repurposed, flat rate box. So it was a nice size, and it was wrapped in this wonderful vintage paper. And this is what it said on it. It said 20 items, vintage cottage, cream pitchers, doilies, and dishes, $8. How could I go wrong? So I purchased it. There were so many goodies in it, and half of it was not my style, so I redonated it to a church down the street that's having a rummage sale. But isn't this the sweetest? And you know, I love pictures to do things. This I'll probably put things, both of them I'll use in the studio. So I'm really super happy to have those. So I'm going to park those. One of them I'm going to put behind me. This one I'm going to leave out because it's probably going to hold something on my desk. Okay, then this is a little stamp that I bought for 50 cents somewhere. I thought it was neat. So I'm going to turn around. That's going in my stamp. Well, actually, I have some stamps next to me that I like to use a lot. So I think I'll put that in that one. That'll be fun. All right, then this container, this container is, I have these power strip, whatever. I have an ironing pad. I have my craft lights. I have all kinds of things in here that I tote back and forth to our craft day at church. So where I had this stored, we needed the room over the weekend for a party that we were having. So I am going to just set that over here out of the way and put it back. Okay, so there's that. These are also, isn't that fun? Also from that wonderful grab bag, and I wanted to make some copies of those, so I'm going to set those there. And then a friend of mine gave me some wonderful linens. Look at that. Let's see, they have little things with them. It says, where's this baby sweater? Baby sweater, wool knit. I can't, I don't know. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's this one. I think they're talking about something else. But anyways, it was July 2024. Isn't that sweet? I never noticed this before, but it's trimmed in pink. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, if anything. I don't know. It may be a donate. I don't know. And then, what do these say? That was all in this bag. Doilies. There were some doilies. Oh, and then tatting from the 20s. These pretty tattings. I was going to launder everything, but oh my gosh, this has such a wonderful color. I don't know if you can see that. Where's some white? Look at the difference. Isn't that neat? So, and this has, what is the design on that? Just flowers. Oh, a little flower, a vase with flowers. So I imagine that is going to be in a journal somewhere at some point. Same with this one. Little hearts. Sweet. Very sweet. So this was all from a friend of mine from her family, but she, you know, she's cleaning out and just doesn't have the room for it all. At some point, you have to just decide which are the things you're going to keep and which you're going to pass along. So I don't know. I know I want to keep these. I have not fully decided what to do with these. Don't be upset if I cut them, okay? I'll try to cut them off camera so you don't have to, if there's any trauma, you won't have to be traumatized. All right, I'm going to toss that over onto my table that I sort lace and stuff. Okay, oh, here's some more. Okay, so this is a lot of the stuff that came in that grab bag. Okay. And I need to iron it, and I have a pile over here to iron. So a lot of these will be really fun in a journal. Let's see them off. Really fun in a journal. That's really neat. Little basket. I come in here to clean, and then I look at everything. And this looks like an old handkerchief. It has kind of a neat border. This may be it looks like has a lot of stuff on it, so I might I don't think I'll use that. I think I'll donate that. And then here's another doily. This one's fun. And then this was in there, and I don't know if it's completely two separate pieces. Let's see, or if it was, yeah, it's two separate pieces just stitched together. So we might be able to play with that. And then there's in this suite. Again, I'll press those. So I'm going to give them a toss over to my pressing area. Okay. And then this is some paper that came with something not Amazon. So it's a little bit different paper. So I thought I will press that, as I like to press the Amazon paper. You guys, you're going to think I'm going through my trash, but I'm really not. I'm going what's on my desk. Okay, this little bag, what was in here? I don't remember what was in here, but I thought, oh, that's a nice little white bag. So I will press that, and that will go in a journal. Okay, I'm keep throwing stuff, and I keep thinking it's gonna, this is where I put my coffee on sometimes. I keep thinking it's going to avalanche over there. Okay, these are some Kathy Holden fabrics that I'm making something with. I will show that to you. I will tell you all about that at another time. Same with these. So that is all something to tell you at another time. Okay, this is super fun. Okay. Excuse the reach. Okay, so this papers. What is this paper? What is this paper? Okay. Oh, those are my Etsy winners, or not Etsy. I wrote it on a scratch piece of Etsy, but those are my, this is my winners from the last giveaway, so I'm going to keep that. Some Bible study notes. This is trash. Bible study notes, Bible study notes. What's this? Prayer requests, and okay, so that's all church stuff. Church stuff. Okay, I'm going to set it over here because that needs to go in another folder. I threw everything on my desk because we were having people over for a party. So this is a gift bag that didn't get used. So I will fold that back up. And isn't that sweet? TJ Maxx. Fold all this back up because it will get used for sure. And my gift wrapping stuff is right over here. So I'm going to just put it right in the bucket. Okay. What else? Okay, friend was over, so she had that coaster. Paintbrush needs to be put away. This is an extra piece of... Okay, what was happening is I had cut a piece of ribbon to use for something, and then it got out of my hand and went into my coffee cup, and so now it's coffee stained, and so I took it in to rinse it out, and there it's back. Okay. Oh, boy. I found this while looking for something else. This is a Martha Stewart retractable craft knife, so I thought I would keep it close to my desk in case I needed to use it. Okay. So my granddaughter, I think I mentioned in another video, my granddaughter called me and said, Grammy, can I ask you a question? And I said, yes, of course. And she said, can you help me make a purse? And I said, for sure. So she sent me a picture of the purse that she wanted to make. Super cute. And so Friday this past week, she came over. I'm going to put that. I keep finding stuff laying around. Friday, she came over and we made the pattern. This is her sweet writing. We made the pattern and then, well, first spent about 40 minutes picking out fabric, which is all of this. And then she picked out the fabric, and I'll show you this fabric in a minute. And then we made the pattern. Then she cut it all out. And oh my gosh, she cut it all out and sewed it. And then we ended up sewing all day Saturday. And she got it done, and she wore it to church on Sunday. And oh, she was just as... She was so tickled and so proud because she had 2 zippers to put in. So she had a pocket zipper and she had the top zipper, which, to be quite honest with you, we didn't know what we were doing because we made the pattern up. So we didn't have any instructions. So I kept telling her, I said, Grammy may have to seam rip a little bit. If we get to a point where I skipped something we should have done. But really, we never got to that point. So it went really fairly smooth with the exception of the very last part. I had never made a purse that had a zipper. I've made tote type purses that either have, you know, where you can snap it or tie it shut or something like that. Well, this had a zipper shut and it had the handles, and that was a little tricky for me, so it took us a little bit of finagling, but we got it done. She wants to make a little change purse out of that, but we didn't get to that. So this was the fabric that we lined it with. She chose that to line it. Oh my gosh, I wish you could have seen this. This fabric salvage said 2014, so I don't remember the maker. And then this was the fabric that was the outside of her purse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these into some scraps that I'll be able to quickly use and grab. And then, okay. And then she chose all this other fabric. Well, wait, let's see. This was the inside. Okay, so in the lining, there was a pocket, and this was the inside. This was the, let's see, was that right? Yeah. This is the pocket. So when you unzip this, you look into the pocket that looks like that. Oh, it was so pretty. Okay. And then on the outside, she chose all these different, we sewed them together to make squares. She chose all these different fabrics to use for her, I'm just going to cut these apart to save some time. What am I trying to say? Her strap. All these fabrics. And so basically what we did was we patchworked them all together. Then we cut them to where they were all just one length. And then, so it would have been, you know, like this, and then like this. And then another one and another one. And then her whole strap was just really, really fun, different, all these different fabrics. So, like here's another. Well, and so we ended up running out of fabric. So we were at her church, has a craft day. And so we were at her church craft day, and I did not bring any other fabric than what we had already chosen. And so I said, do you want to just add fabric that we already have and just keep going? And she said, yeah. Okay, so here's some more. So I'm just going to cut this apart at the, I'm just going to cut it apart here. So this is all out of Grammy's stash, and most of it's not vintage. Some of it was older though, like 2014. That doesn't seem old, but golly, that's, what is that, 9 years? Let's see, 11 years ago. Some of it is vintage, so that was fun for her to use. Like this gold, this one right here is vintage. Barely had enough to make a patch out of it, you know, a little section out of it. I think it was off of a cutout from someone's, a sleeve or something, it looked like. Okay. So we can do something with that at another time, but we will put that with this. I have a tub just for scraps, so that if we're just looking for scraps, we can do that. So let's see here. I want to keep the ones that are not sewn together, I want to keep those separate. So yeah, just a little bit of sorting and cleaning up and, you know, checking it out. Trying to get things cleaned. I want to make some videos. I'm going to try to make enough videos for while I'm at Kathy's. And that little one I'm going to put in my drawer. And also, I'm hoping this time that Kathy and I can do a video together. I don't know. I don't know if she's up to something like that, you know. But we'll see. All right, so here's some bigger scraps. Oh my gosh, this purse looked adorable with all these different colors. So here it is. Here's that bigger one. It just looks like it was cut off of a sleeve or something. So these need to go back into the I have them all in Rubbermaid tubs, so these will go back in those tubs since they're not very big. I mean, since they're bigger than just a quick scrap. Whoops. And then these would go in the scraps. We went through, how many tubs? 6, maybe 6 tubs, looking for what she wanted, you know, the fabric that she wanted. And she did such a good job looking for, just had such a ball. We both had such a ball. Okay. And then this one. Okay. There we go. Okay, so those can go back in my tubs, and then these are all scraps that just need to be cut down and put in my smaller scrap bin, so I can do that. And then these are patchwork scraps, so those can go in the bin. And then these are tearaways when I was trying to get the fabric on grain. And these are wonderful to use, you know, to tie a journal card or to put on a bulb pin or something. So I'm going to put those here in my little drawer. Be a quick grab. And they're a little bright, but sometimes that's fun to add to something. All right, what else? Okay, so then over here I have, I got some napkins. I don't know if you can see that, but they're super cute. And so I thought I would use them in for ephemera, so that needs to be filed. Oh, I want to show you this. Okay, so I had in my Amazon cart for forever these, I don't know if it's Decor 90, yeah, 97 Decor says, 97 Decor. I don't know if you can see that. 97 Decor, 97 Decor. Okay, Amazon. And basically they have all these different, let me get this out because that's shiny. They have all of these different, what are they called? What do they call them? Just decor. And I want to say it's like 14 of them. Comes with these little things that you can attach these to the wall. But I got them specifically for journaling, for journal, you know, junk journals. But you could frame them easily. And there's all kinds. Well, anyways, they range from about $10 for the bunch to like $15. Well, I went in to grab something and my cart showed that they were $4 and something. So I got them because I've been wanting them for junk journals. But this is so sweet. There's a little picnic here and you can see the windmill and all these little windmills back here. I mean, the more you look, the more you see. I was telling my granddaughter, I said, look how fun that is, that the sky is so big and the land is so little. Usually we see it different, like, you know. And then here's a garden. It's all supposed to look like paintings. You can see the original was on canvas. And then you have stuff like this. It's just a print. And then then you go to the next size, which this is my favorite one. I love that. I'm holding them at an angle because I'm trying not to glare you. And that's neat. And they're a really nice thick card, so it'll be neat to tuck them in a pocket or something like that. There's another print. So basically on Amazon, it shows them all, and you buy it to frame or just use the dots, I guess. But it's supposed to be like a whole wallscape, you know, where you do your whole wall. And so these all kind of go together. So there's another little scene. Another print. And then some, looks like pencil sketches. So, anyways, I thought that was fun. They'll be great in a journal. So I got that, $4 and something. Thought that was a neat deal. Get them back in here until I can use them. But really, there's not much to do. I might put some distress ink on them, you know. Okay, what else is here? Just a bunch of paper that I'm sorting. Okay, I was going to tell you this funny story. Do you remember when that stray dog showed up? And it was here forever, it seemed like. I don't even remember now how many days. In the meanwhile, I think I'll make something. And sorry, I'm grabbing something to use. Oh, that fell out of my chair. Okay, well, you know, that was pretty funny. We couldn't get rid of the dog. I wasn't thinking it was funny, but, you know, people thought it was funny that now we're dog owners again, you know. Anyways, the owner came and got it. Well, the saga continues as far as things that just show up. The other day, I heard a rooster. Now, I know our neighbors, you know, have roosters and chickens and the such, you know. And I know they have them because I see coops, and because we live on a farm road, and I see coops as I'm driving down to go to town or what have you. I see different coops. Well, there's a rooster in our yard, and he's cock-a-doodle-doodling, and he sticks around. I kept thinking he was going to go home. Well, anyways, that evening, Joey gets home. I'm gonna put a video on, make a short of it, and put some pictures on Facebook and Instagram, and show you some pictures. But didn't leave. Just didn't leave. Well, anyways, we have we have our land, and then we have this small gated area. It's just a little white picket fence around our main. I was going to make little tags, but I'd have to cut too much off. Just a little white fence around our porch area so that we can sit there and, you know, I don't know. That's just cute. Well, this rooster kept flying in there, and he's been roosting, and I'm not happy about it because doesn't pick up after himself, if you know what I mean. So I have to go and hose off the porch. Joey runs, I mean, it's definitely not funny when it's you. When I'm out there dealing with it, it's not funny. But watching Joey chase after this rooster trying to get him off the porch, hysterical. So it's been an ordeal. Okay, so then I come home. So let's see, what day was that? That was Friday. Okay, that was Friday morning. Okay, Friday afternoon, my granddaughter's over. We're sewing. Another rooster shows up. So now there's 2. We couldn't believe it. Where are these roosters coming from? And I didn't know roosters hung out together. I had no idea. Okay, so the day before, or later that day, let's see, what day was that? Friday. Yeah. I don't know what happened to the other one, but there's a black and white one, and he's the one that is, you know, flying over our fence. So Joey got home. He walked over to the neighbor. I called another neighbor. Well, we called 2 different neighbors. So now 3 neighbors we've contacted. Nobody, it's not theirs. All their roosters are accounted for. Oh boy. And so my granddaughter and I went and grabbed lunch. Let's see, was that Friday or Saturday? Must have been Saturday because she came back over. So we went even further down the farm road, and we're asking people, are you missing roosters? Everyone's roosters were accounted for. I couldn't believe it. We don't have hens or roosters or anything, and we're not about to start it. And so anyway, so that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now we have 3 roosters. Nobody's missing roosters. We have an animal lost and found Facebook group that's for the surrounding area. There are so many people that have posted found roosters. And the guy down the street, the neighbor down the street who said that all of his are accounted for, said that okay, so we're just outside the city limits. I guess the city that we live in, this little city, I guess at some point they have decided that you can't have chickens in the city limits. I don't know. I didn't hear this, and even if I had heard it, I probably didn't pay attention because it's not something I'm not going to have roosters or chickens. So I just didn't pay attention. Well, anyways, he said that it would not surprise him if they've just been dumped. And I just was like, what? Who would do that? And then, so I was telling somebody else, we're looking, and they're like, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they were just dumped. And I was like, who would do that? But anyways, they're eating bugs. They're having a good old time, I guess. I mean, they just are here. They're loving it. And I wish I could keep them off the front porch because I don't like cleaning up after them, and I don't like sitting out there thinking you're going to relax. And next thing you know, this gigantic rooster comes flying over. Oh boy. So I'm just looking through some of my scraps to see what we have here. I think I could use that. So that's the little what's going on now thing that's happening in our little yellow house. Well, maybe I'll do it like that. So anyways, it is fun though to see Joey try to scoop him. I hope he doesn't watch this because he may say, I'm not going to try to scoop that rooster out of that fence anymore if you keep giggling about it. But it is funny. All right, let's just do that. So I just looked out and now there's only two. So I just looked out and they're out back. In the back, you know, where our land, most of our land is. Joey says, I've only seen two. I kind of feel he thinks that we're seeing the same one and thinking that's a third. But no, I've seen three. I've seen them all together, you know, all at one time. Well, anyways, it reminded me, this is going to sound crazy, but it reminded me of the 90s. I don't know if anyone is even old enough to remember this. Back in the 90s, remember tabloids? Do you remember what and for people that don't know, that we didn't have like Instagram and YouTube, and we didn't have TikTok and all of that. And so tabloids were like where you would get your gossip for, you know, about celebrities and things like that. Well, back in the 90s, there was like this rumor going around that Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson were the same person, because you never saw them in the same place. And so there was this rumor that, I mean, it was obviously stupid, but there was this rumor that they were the same person. And that's how I think Joey thinks about these two roosters, that he thinks that they're never in the same place, so they're one and the same, but they're not. They're not Janet and Michael. There are three roosters, and I'm determined. I keep looking out, waiting for that third rooster to show. The third rooster, it's a littler one, and it's white, and it hangs out across the street. So, and there's land across the street, so it runs under that land over there. Here's a cute little thing. Oh, that's fabric. That's from Joey Card Maker's deal. So, anywho, yeah, so I'm going to name those two white ones Michael and Janet, because they're not, so far Joey has not seen them together. The other one I'm not naming. Joey named the dog that came by. Remember that we couldn't find, he named it Barkley, like Barkley. And, so I'm just, since we now seem to be a home where animals land, I'm going to name everything that comes this way Barkley. So Barkley the dog, Barkley the rooster, and then of course we have Janet and Michael. So I'm just looking in here for something else to put on that, out of this mess here. But I kind of feel like it needs to be a different shape. Oh, I know. I found, where is it? Oh, I put it in here. Oh, I'll never find it now. I found this really neat sticker that it was really old, and it fell off of something. Oh, here's this little piece of paper. That's fun. Okay, let's get it down. So I'll keep you updated on the roosters. I'm just going to use this while it's out. We have it out. I saw somebody post that They got a really good deal on Fabri-Tac at Hobby Lobby. This was not local. This was in like just a Facebook group that is not local. Anyways, they got a good deal on it because they said, and maybe it's their own or maybe it's all of Hobby Lobby, but that they're getting rid of, they're going to discontinue carrying Fabri-Tac because they're carrying the Beacon 3-in-1. So they said they got a really good deal. I don't know that I will make it. If that's the case, people that use Fabri-Tac are probably eating that up. And so by the time I get there, it's probably going to be gone because I'm not heading to town anytime soon. I leave for Kathy's in 1 week. I can't wait. Can't wait. And then I don't remember if I mentioned that my youngest daughter I'll be there. I'll be at Kathy's for probably about a week. And then my youngest daughter is going to come out for the rest of the time while I'm there. Just pumped about that. Since my girls have been adults, I've never, been on a trip with them. So that'll be so fun to experience that together. So fun. Well, I'm very excited to have cleaned up my desk. What else could go there? Oh. I don't know where I got those. I thought I had, it'd probably be in here. What is in here? Looser. So I have things to prepare for. I'm preparing for Craft Day, which is Saturday, which is this next weekend. So I'm preparing for that. And then I'm also preparing for the trip. What am I going to take on the trip? I'm starting a new Bible study at our church, leading a Bible study. So I think I'll take the book on the flight to also review. We'll see how that goes. Sometimes I'm not crazy about reading when I'm on a flight. But I do need to have a craft ready. Okay. And then also I'm preparing for that Bible study. So I'm preparing for that at the church. What needs to happen for that. So got that. Just a lot going on, A lot of planning stuff. Hope I haven't been off camera that whole time. I had my camera set for cleaning the desk off. Oh, this glue has got some air in it. I have that wonderful, eraser that a friend of mine gave me at one of the craft retreats. Once that dry, you can rub it off, but I also like to use that little eraser. I'll show it to you here in a second. And once it dries, it just takes it off so quickly. Anyway, so thanks for hanging out with me. I know this hasn't been like probably super exciting, but I did want to touch base and let you know that craft desks get messy. I had a friend, especially when you have stuff that you're planning stuff and you're working on things, and then you have people come over, everything gets thrown on the desk. I don't know if you're like that, but that happens to me sometimes. I had this one friend, oh my gosh, this has been years ago, probably 40 years ago. And when company would come, whatever was on the table or on the stove or dishes, whatever, that she hadn't washed or needed to be put away, she would just put them in the oven. She just toss them all in the oven. And then when people would leave, then she'd go and she'd put it away. Well, one time she was expecting some people, excuse the reach. She put stuff in the oven. Well, the next time she went to preheat the oven, she forgot all that was in there. And what a mess that turned out to be. Okay, this is that little eraser I was telling you about. So anywhere that there's even just a little bit of glue left, you can rub this and it just comes right off. I don't know where she got this. I don't know if this is something that you can find in the art supplies, if it's something you can order. It's I can't remember what that's called. Just like a gummy eraser of some sort. But it just takes it off, and I like to use the little corners because it just gets right up to the edge to take those off. See if there's anything here. A little bit. Oops. Guess that's not quite dry under there. Okay. Okay, good. Oh, I see. I don't know if you can see that. Still wet though. This isn't. I feel like it's a little bit more delicate than my finger can get in the grooves. A little bit better. Yeah, great. Okay, cool. All right, everybody, thanks so much for hanging with me. Help me clean my desk off and chatting about the roosters. I'll let you know what happens and keep you updated. And don't forget, we pray blessings over you. We really do. We want you to know you're so loved. So we'll see you in the next video, everyone. Bye.